We're learning a lot about nature and plants and animals that are naturally found in the Okefenokee Swamp. But I'm interested in the people. I'm here with Leslie. Leslie, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here.
Well, I'm cultural interpreter here at the Swamp Park and a retired history teacher. So when it came time for me to wind up that part of my profession, I decided what better classroom than right here in the Okefenokee Swamp and on Pioneer Island. We really enjoy being here and sharing the history of the people with others, because a lot of folks don't think of humans as really choosing to be in the Okefenokee Swamp, but they did.
Evidence in the form of arrowheads, ash from fire, and pottery show that Native Americans lived in the Okefenokee as far back as 4,500 years ago. These artifacts offer insight into their daily lives and culture. What do you have here?
Well, this is a vessel that was left here in the Okefenokee Swamp at some point in time. We're really not sure. The vessel was kicked up by a cow over on a mound on Chester Island, and we've had it since authenticated, and it's been identified as Weedon Island red, which looking at it you think, well, it's red and clay. We don't have clay in the Okefenokee. No, we don't. So that just indicates that it was brought in possibly from as far away as Tampa, Florida, and maybe traded and left in an Indian mound for a part of their ceremonial purposes.
Along with these unearthed remnants, historians have also come to understand what life was like in the Okefenokee through storytelling.
Obadiah Barber is a descendant of the oldest documented family in the Okefenokee as far as European Americans, and he's the king of the Okefenokee Swamp to us. The story goes that one day Obadiah was out taking care of his cattle when a big bear came up. So, not being able to get to his rifle, he reached down and picked up a big heavy limb, kind of like this, and he used it like a club, and he beat that bear. He crammed that bear, as the pioneers would say, and that bear didn't get up. So, ever since Obadiah did that, he has been known as the king of the Okefenokee Swamp. Now, when this attack was over, they found 2 cubs in the bushes.
Aww.
So what's that tell you about the bear that attacked Obadiah?
Definitely protecting her baby.
You're right, you're right.
Animals were an integral part of pioneer life, with many homesteads including donkeys, cows, and chickens.
Yes, a chicken coop was a pretty standard structure on most any pioneer homestead. And chickens did serve other purposes besides food. They did have medicinal use. Yeah. For example, if someone got a case of the chicken pox, they would take the little child or adult into the chicken house, have them lay down in the dirt, and let the chickens run back and forth over them. And they believed that would cure it. If somebody had a case of the whooping cough, they would get daddy or brother to go out into the woods and bring in several of these. These are red-headed, pileated is the official name, woodpeckers. And daddy and brother would strip off all of the feathers and throw away the bones and the guts and the skin, and they would keep just the meat and put a little water and salt in the pot with the woodpecker meat, and they would simmer it all day until it was basically mush.
Wow.
And you would have to eat some of that woodpecker stew every day for 5 days. But they swore by that as a cure for the whooping cough.
So kind of a little folklore mixed in with some modern medicine.
Exactly, and maybe a little more folklore on some cures than others. For example, if you had a wart, they would give you this little packet of medicine. So I'm going to give you this in case you ever get a wart. You'll have what you need handy.
Thank you.
But inside is corn. And now at some point during the day, drop that packet of corn behind you where somebody else will pick it up. Don't look back to see where it lands and say, "Go away, wart." And pioneers believed that would cure your wart.
Pioneers were self-sufficient in many ways. In addition to creating their own medicine, They also made syrup, built their own homes, butchered and cooked their meats, and even made their own soap. Using potash, lye, water, and animal fat, settlers would cook up bars of soap that they used for bathing, washing clothes, and scrubbing floors.
What are some of the things that attracted the pioneers to come out to Okefenokee?
Well, certainly the environment. They could live off the land. Plenty of water for drinking or for fishing, plenty of wood for building homes or fires for cooking or making soap, plenty of wildlife for eating, and definitely for the furs. That was their money. They bartered furs for things that they needed at the trading post. But for the most part, they didn't need much of anything at all.